are back again. Welcome to the old Clapper Racing YouTube channel. Today, and probably for the next little bit, I'm going to be working on a video trying to put air conditioning on the RX-7. It's been something I've been wanting to try for a while, and decided to just order some stuff and see if I can make it happen. The company that I ordered the main bulk of the stuff from was a company called Cold Master. They make a bunch of universal air conditioner kits, and I've already opened everything up, as you can see, but they have the dimensions for everything. Like, here's the condenser. I think that's a 20 by 14 inch condenser. Comes with some hoses for your AC, refrigerant, and your hoses for the ducting. Comes with a fan for the condenser. It goes on there. And it also comes with a filter dryer for the system. And all this stuff is actually pretty nice. They've actually pulled a vacuum on it and put these caps on that seal up. So I noticed that when I undid the caps on the compressor, it was under a vacuum. So it's got a bunch of assortment of lines, and they've got some worm clamps in here, so you can clamp the hoses on there, or you can use these little ferrules that you need a crimper for. So you slide this over the hose, slide it on the barb on these fittings, and then it just kind of like crimps it on. I think it's like an octagon that just crimps it on there. It's got some universal vent deals right here that you can put on them. Comes with a full wiring harness that wires up to the pressure switches and the compressor and all that stuff. Comes with the pressure switch that's in here and a clamp. It's got pretty much everything you need. And here is the underdash, which is the evaporator. It's got your blower motors on it. It's got 4 outlets for the ducting. And here's your high and low pressure, your inlet and outlet. It's got the expansion valve on here. So pretty nice unit for what it is. I think it was, if you go on eBay and look at their stuff, it's a little more expensive for some reason. This kit on eBay was $5.99. I looked at their website, pulled it up on there, which always pays to shop around, and on their website I think I got it for $5.30 shipped, something like that. It also comes with a compressor, which is, I've already got it on the car. But let's go take a look at that. So here we are at the car. Got a nice little canopy because it is hot today. But so here's the compressor that the kit comes with. Whenever you order the kit, it comes with a dual V-belt pulley, but you have to specify in the comments that you want a serpentine pulley. So this looks like a pretty nice compressor. Like I said, under these caps here, if you pull the caps off, it was vacuum sealed. So that makes me feel a little better about this kit. But this is actually a bracket from ICT Billet. It's for the Camaro spacing that I have on this car. And seems to work really good. I'm trying to work out the belt size. I don't have any power steering on this car, so there's no power steering pump down there. So it's just basically an alternator, water pump, and the AC compressor. So I did a little measurement with a string. I just wrapped a string around the pulleys, did a measurement, and I took an inch off because I couldn't compress the tensioner. But whenever I did that, I guess for whatever reason it's too small. So I got a 96-inch belt because I seen it was 97 inches per my string measurement, and that's too small to go on here. So I'm gonna try to go to the parts store and get a 97-inch belt. I bought 3 belts, a 60, a 55, and a 50, and obviously all those were too small. So I'm gonna go get a 70, see if that'll fit on here. But I spent yesterday getting the compressor on, and I had to move my this is my little swirl pot. It comes from the head vents, goes in here and then goes in the radiator, kind of swirls it around and de-aerates everything. Then that goes to my overflow, which is over there. But Spent yesterday moving that around. I had to readjust this charge pipe a little bit. I thought I was going to have to cut it and weld it and move some stuff, but it seems to fit. It's kind of close. I think I can angle this down just a little bit more, but the main thing I was worried about on this kit was if the hood was going to close with these fittings on there. They're 90s that come out. This is actually going to go this way. This one's going to go straight back. And the hood actually does close with all that on there, surprisingly. So that's a good start. If the hood does not close, you have another option. Guy on No Rotors, I did not know this, but you can buy these heads for the back, and the ports come out the back instead of out the top. So if your engine sits a little higher than mine, then that is another option for you. So today, the other thing I wanted to do was get this bumper pulled off and try to mount the condenser up. I don't have one of those hydraulic little for the ferrules to make the lines, so I need to order one of those. So this is about as far as I'm going to be able to get, is just mounting the condenser, and that's about it for right now. I believe the inside unit, the evaporator that goes in the inside, I believe mine is too big. I may have to order a separate smaller one. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging on that, but I bought a bulkhead to put the lines through the firewall, and that hasn't even gotten here yet. So just gonna do this one step at a time. Like I said, for right now, I think I'm gonna mount the condenser, get that all straight, and then we'll go from there. So I've got the bumper off the car. It's laying over there. Pulled the intercooler off, and I wanted to show you a little tip that I can't take credit for. I actually got it from Patrick Griffin with the Coyote swapped turbo RX7. I actually have a piece of garden edging from like Lowe's, and I'm actually putting a new piece on there. My old one was getting ground down, but I just mount it up under the radiator like that, and it shovels air from under the car into the radiator, and it helps tremendously when you're riding down the highway. My car does pretty good at a stoplight with the fan that's on it, but it was always going down the highway is when it would try to get hot and the fan was running constantly trying to keep up. But now that I put this on there, it doesn't do that. So a little pro tip. Got the old Harbor Freight bandsaw doing work, cutting these little aluminum strips I'm going to use for the L brackets to hold the condenser. Does a pretty good cut for a cheap bandsaw. I'm gonna cut these out and get to bending them. All right, got the condenser on here. You see my little brackets. It already had holes in the body from the factory, so I just used those. I believe it's plenty sturdy. Got a little bit of gap in between the radiator and the condenser, so I can put the intercooler back on. Obviously, I'll probably have to pull it back off to do the lines, but that'll be a little bit later on. Right now, I'm just trying to get all the main components in this thing and get it where I can drive it again, because I'll be bringing it to Street Car Takeover. I'm not going to race it, but I'll be bringing it to Street Car Takeover. I'll do a video on that also, but yeah, she's coming right along. All right, just as easy as that. There's the nutsert in the body, and I can go ahead and put this filter dryer on. got the filter dryer on, sitting in its spot. So one less thing to do, but pretty happy with it right there. I'm not gonna be able to get it exactly vertical. That's really the best place to put it. I was thinking about maybe putting it right here, but I can't really fit it there. So it's not exactly vertical, but I believe it'll work. I think I might have figured out where I'm going to put this big evaporator at. I'm going to have to do a couple things I didn't want to do, but it's what you got to do to get air conditioning in the car. So I pulled out this factory speaker grill, which is actually coming apart anyways. It's cracking up a little bit. And the speakers don't work very good. It's got some cheap Walmart speakers I put in here about 10 years ago. And I pulled the insert on the glove box out, which I wasn't really using anyways. I had a switch in here to turn the two-step on and off, but I can just wire it up to be on all the time. I don't ever turn it off anyways. But here's the glove box that's gutted, and I've already got heat in this car. This is my heat, and it's got a automatic controller on the low speed for the heat. As you can see, I have a separate video that I did on that. It's got a Summit Racing heater box in here. I don't know if you can see it. It's tucked away right there. I've got this little foil hose going to and the defrost vents. It comes out here and on top. Helps in the wintertime a lot. The heat will run you out of here on a cold day. But now it's time to get some coolness in here. But I'm thinking about tucking this thing up in here, up under here. Let me see if I can show you. Still gonna be a tight fit, but I think I can tuck this thing up in here like this. You know, might be able to put the grill back. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll see. Put the speaker back. Just have this right here, and have this vent over here all the way to the right coming out of here, and maybe run this vent all the way to the left onto my other vent on the driver's side, and then have these two maybe just go straight down to the floor. I think that would work out really nice. And then I'm probably just gonna make a blank panel for the glove box here. I don't know if I'm making y'all sick or not, but I'm probably gonna make a blank panel. I'm gonna probably cut this box up, maybe cut the end of this off, put it back on here, and then make a straight panel. I'm not sure if I want to put the AC control. I'm thinking about putting the fan control, because I have a feeling I'm going to run this air conditioner on high all the time. So I think I might just make a blank panel and install this temperature thing over here. Just have it just sitting right here, and then put this right here beside my heat knob, and just have it sitting right here. That way, if I want heat, I hit this. If I want AC, I'll hit this. And I think it'll be pretty clean like that. All I have to do is just undo the glove box to get to the temperature control, which I don't think I'll ever need. I might just end up actually zip tying this thing up out of the way, because I really think I'm just going to keep it on low all the time. I can't foresee me just reaching over there and adjusting it and saying it's too cold in here, but you never know. I don't know how good this stuff's going to work. So I got the little glove box shell cut out, and this is what I'm left with. This little shell here. There's the evaporator. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't really use the glove box anyways. I've got the console, put all my stuff in it, so I think I'm good with that right there. I don't even know if I'm gonna make a panel for it. I believe that's all I need to do. All right, I'm gonna start off by apologizing for not filming a lot of this process after the first part that I filmed. I was gonna make it into 2 different videos, but I'm gonna just go ahead and make it all one. But here's the finished product. I borrowed a crimper from a buddy of mine for the hydraulic lines, and it did a good job. I'm gonna make a list of parts. I'm gonna put them in the description of what I used, and I'm also gonna include this crimper that I used, that I borrowed from him. It's about 300 bucks, or you know, you could buy it, borrow it, or take the lines to somebody after you cut them and to fit them and get them to crimp them. But anyways, so working from the front to the back, here is the condenser that I mounted in the video. You saw that. And here is one of the lines here and here, down there and up here. And basically the system, it pushes the Freon into the condenser, comes out of the condenser, goes into the filter dryer, goes into the evaporator inside the car through this bulkhead that I used, into the evaporator, and this is your suction line right here back into the compressor. It's a relatively simple flow path here, but the good thing is I took the car to the track. It doesn't kick the belt off or anything, so all this stuff lines up really good. And I was pretty happy about that, because that was one thing I was afraid of. But the everything seems to be good. The kit comes with the wiring. The only thing that I didn't use in the kit was the fan for the condenser. I just have the condenser, or my radiator fan, running at 50% the whole time, instead of having the condenser fan on, and it seems to work fine. It works really good, really cold AC in this thing now. I was actually surprised. I figured it would work okay, but I didn't think it was going to work as good as it did. But so the line sizes on this thing that you'll need for the hydraulic crimper is, these are 6, 8. There's only 2 8 connections, and then the rest are 10. And I'll include the bulkhead that I used down there, and I'll show you what I did inside for the ducting. Cutting these things and crimping them isn't really all that difficult if you have the right crimper. So as you know, I gutted the glove box, ran the ducting like this. This far right duct comes out here. I've kind of poked 2 holes here and here and run a zip tie through it. I didn't really know of any other good way to do it, so that's what I did. This one here goes to the passenger footwell. This one here goes into the center section right here, and I've got it attached to the vent, and it blows out there in the center. And this one all the way to the left blows out the same way this one does on that side of the car. I put the temperature control in the glove box because there wasn't enough room in my temperature panel, but I can't foresee myself turning this temperature down. I'll just adjust the fan speed more than likely, but I've got it over here just in case. And I mounted it with a bracket on this side of this glove box. Closes, and everything's good. The one thing that I did modify for the AC compressor control is I made the MegaSquirt on the nitrous in wire. It can take a 12-volt source, so I wired it where if you turn the switch on inside the car, it sends 12 volts to the MegaSquirt through that nitrous in panel or wire, and it knows that the AC compressor is on, so it idles the car up, and it does that through the idle air control valve. Also, what I have it doing is I've got a ground output, which is nitrous 2, I believe is what I'm using, for a ground output, grounding another relay which cuts the signal to the compressor clutch. So the reason why I did that is if somebody's driving the car that's not me, or I forget to cut the air conditioner off, the compressor isn't spinning 7,000 RPMs when you're hitting the go pedal down there. So keeps the compressor from coming apart, which is a good thing. And I can show you that in my program here for the MegaSquirt. Let me get it pulled up. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm sitting here now with the AC running, working pretty good, blowing out of here. I've got it kind of pointing this way because most of the time I'm the only one riding in the car. It's coming out of here, coming out right here. And I can sit in the car. It's at least 92, 93 outside right now, and it's pretty comfortable in here. I drove the car earlier in the town, and it's even better when you're riding down the highway. Works better than my old daily driver Civic over there. The AC in this thing does. So let me show you what I got going on as far as the program. Got the, like I said, I got the fan on at 50% all the time, and you can see that with this gauge here, sitting on 50%. Until the coolant climbs and the fan comes on even more. But I have not seen the car get hot yet. I've sat here and just let it idle for a long time, and it's really not any different than it was before the AC install. So here's your air conditioning idle up settings, and so on your settings I have nitrous idle up on. Nitrous idle up, AC idle up on. Your output wire is nitrous 2, which is your ground signal that I told you about for controlling the compressor. The idle up input is nitrous in, which is one of the only wires on the MegaSquirt can take 12 volts in and not get upset about it. Input polarity is normal, which means it's grounded whenever you want the compressor on. And I have idle up minimum RPM for the compressor to come on is 500 RPM. The delay is 100, and I only have it adding about 15 steps to the idle air control. And on the TPS shutoff, I've got it at 70%, so anything above 70% throttle, the compressor cuts off. And also I have the RPM shutoff enabled. And I believe I've got that on, 5,000 RPM, but this TPS will probably take it out before the RPM shutoff will. But AC works good in here, like I said. And I'll show you when I cut the AC off. Idle's still good. And I'll cut it back on. Not really much of a change in the idle. And you can see the AC light comes on the MegaSquirt. It says AC right there. And it's running good. So far I'm happy with it, but if you want anything kind of more in depth than what I've got right here, just let me know. I'll be glad to tell you, or maybe make another video on it. But that's what I've got for now. I appreciate you watching.